Hello, I am Chaplain Brent Little. I'm currently attached to the 17th Trading Wing at Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo, Texas. Today I'm going to be talking to you about first my endorser and also my call to ministry. So for the past 3 years serving as a Air Force Reserve Chaplain, I have been endorsed by Liberty Baptist Fellowship. The reason I chose Liberty Baptist Fellowship because I feel like as a Baptist it really represents my doctrinal beliefs and my theological beliefs as well. Our head endorser is Dr. Stephen Keith, who I really feel equips chaplains to be effective in the field. He has over 30 years of experience in the Air Force Chaplain Corps and has great experiential wisdom to share with fellow chaplains to enrich them and allow them to be effective spiritual leaders. So secondly, my call to ministry. So my call to ministry really started when I was at the Citadel in my junior year. I was currently enrolled in the Air Force RTC department, and I was selected to be an air battle manager. It was during that time that God was really pulling on my heart to go in a different direction. I always wanted to be in the Air Force since I was in 6th grade. I had just a compassion to serve our country and to make a difference. And it was really in that time that God was like, I want you to be in the military, but I have a different plan for your life. I have a plan for you to serve in the capacity of a chaplain. And it was during that time as well that Chaplain Harris, the chaplain at the Citadel at the time, really took me under his wing, mentored me, and showed me what it means to work in a military environment. He told me about the role my senior year to be a battalion religious officer, which I was accepted to be of 2nd Battalion. And it was during that time that I learned about the military environment and the chaplaincy. And I was able to serve over 500 men and women in 2nd Battalion. And during that time, as I was being mentored by Chaplain Harris, I had a greater appreciation for what chaplains did, but also how they really cared for people around them, how they counseled them, guided them, and just poured wisdom and provided support in any way possible they could in that context in the military. So during my senior years, I was serving as a battalion religious officer and learning more about the chaplaincy. I was praying about where God really wanted me to go for seminary. So I felt like God was pulling on my heart to attend Liberty Baptist Theological Seminary. And I felt like that was a great place where I could really develop my skills as a minister, as a chaplain, and as a person. And during that time, as I was going through seminary, I was able to serve as a youth pastor and learn more about the parish ministry side, about the sacraments, about preaching, and really develop my teaching style as a pastor. But after serving in the church, I was also selected to be in the chaplain candidate program moving to my 2nd year of seminary. It was during that time in the chaplain candidate program where I was able to involve in training in a really pluralistic environment. I was able to develop my skills as a military officer, but really able to work with chaplains and chaplain assistants on how to create a context of hope and how to create a context where airmen could really divulge their needs and issues that were arising in their day-to-day life. So from my time going through seminary, going through the chaplain candidate program, I was able to preach in the pulpit in chapel. I was able to engage in performing memorial services, and I was also able to engage airmen in the workplace ministry setting. From graduating from seminary and finishing the chaplain candidate program, I was able to reappoint as a Air Force Reserve chaplain, and I was also able to engage in a year-long clinical pastoral education residency program. It was during the CP residency program that I was really able to find out more about myself, but also my pastoral competencies. As far as my pastoral competencies, I really learned how to actively listen to people, how to have empathetic presence, how to really sit next to people bedside with patients, with families, and really facilitate their emotional and theological process. It was through this time that I was also able to learn about my pastoral image. And my pastoral image for me was that of a sojourner. I felt like I was able to walk with people through their amidst suffering, through their pain, and really provide emotional support to them while they were going through those difficult times. It was also working in this pluralistic environment that I was able to understand spirituality through a context that other people understand it. Because not all people believe in the same belief system as I do, but as a chaplain, it is my role to care for them and facilitate their theological understanding of where they come from in their faith belief system. So, in being a chaplain in the hospital setting, I was really able to learn more about my pastoral psychology, my pastoral image, and also my pastoral role. And for me, I believe that everybody is created in God's image. Everybody has worth, and everybody has a gift of grace that God bestows on us. And I really felt like through that time I was able to develop a platform of hope for others, which really allowed me to build my pastoral competency and build my pastoral role and become a better equipped chaplain. From moving from CPE and into serving as a hospice chaplain, I really relied on some of my core mentors, which were Dr. Stephen Keith, my endorser of LBF, and also one of my church elders, Charlie Hesse, who really ingrained in me experiential wisdom and also prayer and guided me to become a full-time minister and really pour into me what it means to be a chaplain and also a minister in the church. It was from there that through the past 3 years that I had the amazing opportunity to serve as the chaplain at Goodfellow Air Force Base. Through my time there, I was able to serve recently on a 7-month backfill tour, which really gave me a greater foresight in what it is to be a full-time active duty chaplain. It was through that time that I was able to counsel airmen, provide resiliency training, but also facilitate the free exercise of religion, which I believe all human beings are entitled to in this country. It was through that time that I was also able to work with foreign nationals through other groups, as we had an intel school that was also doing training for people from Saudi Arabia, Oman, and various countries in the Middle East. And I was able to partake in religious holidays and get a greater understanding of their faith, their Muslim faith, and also how to protect their free exercise of religion as well. It was on that base that I was also able to build relationships with countless airmen, build rapport with them, and really provide them with a platform of hope. It was through my time there that I really felt like being the MSG chaplain, and I was able to work with the commander and provide him with both ethical, moral, and spiritual advice on day-to-day operations in a high-tempo environment. I was able to work with the commanders, the squadron commanders, and really able to provide them with the best resiliency training possible, and also counseling opportunities for the airmen that are just going through a tough, difficult time of military life and also personal life that wreaks havoc on their soul and also their performance on a day-to-day level. So I felt like during that time God was continuing to mold me, to forge me into be an effective full-time Air Force chaplain. And I feel like through that time, through words of affirmation, through my wing chaplain, through fellow chaplains and squadron commanders and my MSG commander, I was really able to grow into being an effective Air Force chaplain. And also working in the hospice environment, I was able to work with people who are deaf and dying, also providing bereavement care, and I was really able to ingrain myself in what it means to provide spiritual care to those in need. And I felt like through each opportunity, each experience, God was molding me for this opportunity to serve in a full-time capacity. And I hope that as I continue my doctorate in counseling, I continue to equip myself with skills, both theories and psychologically, understanding of what it means to care for others and how I can best have micro skills to care for others in that field of ministry.